I feel very fortunate right now. And I want you to know that these Coast Guard guys are some of the best guys in the world, man. They are heroes for a living. And the Navy guys, the guys from the Eisenhower were the ones who actually made it out there. I don't know, like I said, I was in the water for about an hour. I was probably on that raft for close to that before they showed up. And man, that diver, he jumped right in there, you know. He said, come on, man, jump in the water. I'm going to save your life. And he did. After all that, to see that guy there, man, it was almost an unbelievable experience to realize that I wasn't going to die, that I was going to live another day, because the situation that I finally found myself in after the boat rolled over and left me alone in the dark was an impossible situation that there was nothing I could do, and there was nothing anybody could do to help me there. If I hadn't found that raft in the dark by the grace of God, and if I hadn't been in that raft when the helicopter guys arrived, I probably already would have drowned. Because there's only so long you can stay immersed and still function and still keep your head above water. I believe in God, and I told God at that time, I said, God, what do I do? And it was like I understood that there was nothing more to be done. And I said, well, then it's all over. And so I told the Lord, I said, God, I'm going to believe in you. I'm going to hope in you until I take my final breath, which I did not expect that to be more than a few more minutes. And that's when I kicked off my boots and I just started to swim. I didn't have a direction picked out. No, I didn't see anything to swim to. I just told God I was going to believe in him until I took my last breath. And I decided I was going to start swimming. And I don't know how long I kept that up, but it was like I saw this blacker blob in front of me, and the next thing I knew, I bumped into that capsized life raft that didn't have any lights on it, and I almost didn't believe it was real. But I realized that I was going to live another day, and that almost hoping from beyond hope. It's almost like I knew that there was no chance. I knew there was no chance. I had been cold already for several days, and wet and cold since the first flooding of the boat. I was able to move, but I was trying to conserve heat. Floating, my life jacket kept me afloat except when the waves would break over my head. And I realized that nobody was going to find me. It didn't matter how long I tried to stay warm by huddling into a ball. And I'd say that I was in the water for about an hour. I was still able to move at that time, which was a miracle, because as cold and wet as I'd been over the preceding 3 days, then to be immersed for another hour. When I finally kicked off my boots and decided to swim, I didn't know which direction to swim in. I didn't have any particular direction to go. And I just started swimming and calling on God. And that's when sometime after that, I bumped into the raft, the capsized life raft that had been dropped by the C-130 pilot. It was unlit, and I couldn't really see it. It was kind of a blob in the dark, and I more or less bumped into it in the dark. By that time, I think I'd been... I had tried to deal with these things as they had arisen. The first knockdown, the flooding, patching the hull, trying to get sails up, trying to repair the steering, trying to do something with the engine or the prop, and I was still struggling with these things when the boat rolled over on me and dragged me down under and left me there. When I found myself alone in the dark, I knew they would never find me. They'd be doing really good to see somebody like that without any signaling devices, alone in the dark. They aren't going to see it. They just aren't. You could be 100 yards from a life raft and never see it. The waves were 40 foot or so, And by the time you reach the top of the wave, the blowing spray and the rolling, crashing tops of the waves breaking over blinded you. So that where your best place to look for something would be at the peak of the wave as it carries you up. But if you're blinded, you can see nothing, and by the time you can see again, you're down in the trough. You're literally in the dark, blinded, and you can't see anything more than 50 feet away. The rafts could have passed 100 yards from me, and I never would have seen them. As it was, they never would have found me. I was a goner. And just striking out, swimming like that, blindly in any direction, that don't get you nowhere. That was just something to do, because I'd done everything else. And I was a goner, man.